the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub Podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
Top of the morning, security gang. Welcome to another episode of the CyberHub Podcast. I'm obviously traveling, not in my studio. And as often as it is, I love doing the show. So no matter where I am, this show is coming to all of y'all. Pre-recorded this morning simply because of a really tight travel schedule today. Tomorrow we'll hopefully be back and live with all of y'all. So let's get into the show today. We've got a lot to talk about, but before we do, please make sure to subscribe and follow us on your favorite podcast listening platform. Please make sure to check out our Substack, jamesazar.substack.com. It's where all of my writing is, including the new decentralized skill chain that's getting a really cool update thanks to some friends at Huntress Labs and so many others. So go check that out. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this show going. Join me for a coffee cup cheers. I've got a Celsius this morning. I do. No espresso where I'm at. Not every hotel is equal. Coffee cup cheers, y'all. But it's a longer sip with the Celsius because it's just so good, right? When it hits your lips, it's just so good. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Leading off with a new North Korean threat actor that's been targeting education, defense industrial base, software, and IT organizations for espionage and revenue generation, according to our friends over at Microsoft. Moonstone Sleet, formerly known as Storm 1789er, is a state-sponsor group that's been combining TTPs employed by other North Korean threat actors with its unique methodologies. It's established itself as a well-resourced adversary. Moonstone Sleet is observed to set up fake companies and job opportunities to engage with potential targets, employ Trojanized versions of legitimate tools, create a malicious game, deliver new custom malware. When it was first initially discovered, it kind of overlapped with Diamond Sleet, also known as Zinc. It was believed to be a subgroup of Lazarus, the notorious group there. But it's since moved to its own infrastructure. It's engaging in a whole bunch of really advanced, expensive operations. They've been observed creating fake companies, posing as software development or IT services. That's how they get insights into organization, right? And that's how they're getting insights from potential employees who are potentially looking to leave your organization by giving out really important information about your organization or operational information or project details that could help them in terms of establishing initial access, that could help them in terms of gaining trust. They've set up companies like Starglow Ventures and CC Waterfalls. They've pursued employment and software development positions at legitimate companies in order to gain insights. Since at least August of 2023, they've been utilizing Trojanized versions of PuTTY in attacks, the SpitLoader installer dropper, malicious NPM packages, and custom malicious tank games. And they've been using the UE load and split loader malware loaders and a custom ransomware named Fake Penny. So all in all, they're designed to perform network and user discovery, collect data from browsers. The group has launched hands-on keyboard type of commands to perform reconnaissance and credential theft. They've deployed the Fake Penny ransomware against an organization that they compromised in February, demanded 100 Bitcoins, nearly $6.6 million in ransom. The ransom note closely resembled what was used in the NotPetya attacks. So there's some attribution there by Microsoft, but definitely we're seeing our adversaries really advance and evolve in how they operate. So while we're training, now it becomes even more critical to talk to HR, to talk to employees within the company that work on specific projects, what they need to be mindful of. So there's that there. OpenAI is forming a new safety and security committee that's going to be led by the company directors Brett Taylor, Adam D'Angelo, Nicole Sligman, and CEO Sam Altman. The committee is being formed to make recommendations to the full board on safety measures and security decisions for OpenAI projects and operation. The group is first tasked with evaluating and developing the company's process and safeguards for the next 90 days, after which the committee will share its recommendations with the board to be reviewed and then shared with the public. The formation of the committee comes after Jan Leike, a former OpenAI safety executive, resigned from the company due to criticisms of underinvestment in safety work of AI, obviously a significant concern of training these models. I can tell you, especially for me, it's good to see them kind of do this with the company directors, and hopefully this brings about some real change. For all you Fortinet customers, CVE 2024-23108, the command injection vulnerability that was discovered and reported by Horizon 3 Zax Henley that enables remote code execution as root without requiring authentication now has a proof of concept exploit for this specific Fortinet SIM solution. This was patched back in February. However, many devices still remain unpatched. This impacts Forti-SIM versions 6.4.0 and higher, and was patched on February 8th with the together with a second RCE CVE 2024-23109er. Both of those have a severity score of 10 out of 10. After denying that the two CVEs was real and claiming they're actually duplicate of a similar flaw fixed in October, Fortinet has now disclosed they are real and it's significant. And please patch your stuff now because there's an exploit for it. So there's that for all of you Fortinet customers. Over 90 malicious Android apps were found to be installed in over 5.5 million times through the Google Play Store, or as I like to call it, the Google Android Store and Google Malware Store, with the Anatasa banking Trojan seen a recent surge in activity. Teapot is a banking Trojan. It targets over 650 applications of financial institutions in Europe, the US, UK, and Asia. It's trying to steal people's e-banking credentials to perform fraudulent transaction. Threat Fabric reported that since late last year, Antasa has achieved at least 150,000 infections through Google Play using various decoy apps in productivity, software, and category. Zscaler is also reporting that Antasa has returned to Android's official app store and is now being distributed via two decoy applications, one a PDF reader and file manager and a QR reader and file manager, two apps that you would seamlessly download, but would be horrible. If Google only picked up on Apple's way of doing things, it'd be so much better. I say it again and again on the show, said it, and I keep saying it. Google, get your act together. You guys are better than that. Netflix has paid out more than $1 million for vulnerabilities found in its system since they've launched their bug bounty program in 2016. The streaming giant said that 5,600 researchers have contributed to its program, submitted nearly 8,000 unique vulnerability reports. Rewards were paid out for 845 of those. So just a little over 10%, more than a quarter of which were rated critical severity or high severity. When it launched the bug bounty program in 2018, Netflix used Bugcrowd to host and manage the initiative. The company has now moved to the HackerOne platform. Netflix is promising enhanced triage, increased bounty ranges, and expanded scope, exclusive private programs, and researcher feedback loops. Content authorization issues, which include subverting content authorization and obtaining private keys, can earn researchers between $300 to $5,000. Critical vulnerabilities could earn up to $20,000. And while flaws related to corporate assets can earn researchers up to $10,000. Good for Netflix and good for all of you white hat hackers out there trying to make the world a better place. Breachforums is taken down, has now been resurrected nearly 2 weeks after a U.S. coordinated law enforcement action dismantled and seized control of the infrastructure. Cybersecurity researchers and dark web trackers Brett Callow, Dark Web Informer, and Falcon Feeds revealed the site's online is returned at breachforums.st, one of the dismantled sites by a user named Shiny Hunters, who has since offered a sale of 1.3 terabyte database containing details of allegedly 560 million Ticketmaster customers for nearly $500,000. This includes names, addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, ticket sales, and event information, including the last 4 digits of the credit card information and their associated expiration. However, in an interesting twist, visitors of the site are now being asked to sign up for an account in order to view the content, something that was not the case before. Some are wondering whether this is a honeypot by the FBI or whether or not they've been resurrected. We'll only know when time tells. And finally, our final 2 stories this morning. Good guys prevail. A 31-year-old Russian national named Yevgeny Dorochenko has been indicted for wire and computer fraud in the U.S. for allegedly acting as an initial access broker from February of 2019 to May of 2024. The threat actor who breached corporate networks and then sells that access to other actors. That's what initial access broker is. Dorochenko, allegedly known online by aliases like Flacker, WWH, and Flanker, is accused of gaining unauthorized access to corporate networks and then offering to sell this on Russian language cybercrime forums. The indictment mentions an incident from January 2024 when he tried to sell access to a network of a company in Bergen County, New Jersey. Kellas cyber intelligence tools. Using Kellas cyber intelligence tools, Bleeping Computer was able to locate what they believe to be a particular auction for this company, where the threat actor set the starting price at $3,000 with $500 increments, with a flash sale buy now at $6,000. So, in addition to the indictment also mentions a case where Dorochenko stole information from one of the systems he breached, valued at over $5,000. For now, he hasn't been arrested. He is based in Russia, won't be extradited, and so this is just there. However, he's not as lucky. He is luckier than Malachi Mullings, 31, of Sandy Springs, Georgia, who pled guilty to money laundering offenses in January of last year. He's now been sentenced to 10 years in prison for laundering more than $4.5 million through BEC schemes and romance scams. According to court documents, Mullings is said to have opened 20 bank accounts in the name of a non-existent company named the Mullings Group, which served as a conduit to launder the fraudulent proceeds from at least 2019 to 2021. The scheme netted millions of dollars via BEC attacks targeting a healthcare benefit program, private companies, and other entities, as well as romance scams. Together with his co-conspirators, Mullings engaged in financial transactions designed to conceal and the fraud proceeds, and used some of the proceeds to purchase luxury items like cars and jewelry. This includes a Ferrari, after getting $260,000 in a romance scam. So there's that. Wow. That's it for our show this morning. Quick, sweet, and to the point. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any stories you want to let us know, please DM me. Go to our website. Go to cyberhubpodcast.com, or you can reach out to me on Substack, jamesazar.substack.com. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern with the latest and greatest. Until then, have a great rest of your day, and most importantly, stay cyber safe.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on social media and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.